Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. It's a beautiful rainy day here in Kenosha. The weather people said it was going to rain, but I guess they're not quite right. Or should we say weather people are always right, they just have problems with timing. So this is our last full week of instruction. Next week on Tuesday, a week from now, we're going to do a review. And then next week on Thursday, which is the 15th, I think we agreed that we want to have the exam in class. Is that right? Okay. Good. How about we start off the day with review? Anybody have any questions? Milo, you're muted if you were speaking to us.
I know, I said yes, but give me a moment. I need to figure out how to put this into real people words.
Okay, so right now the question exists in non-real people words.
It exists in my brain and I don't know how to make it sound like a real live question.
Okay.
Professor,
Yeah.
oh, sorry, Milo. You can go. Oh, my computer was being slow, so I just joined the class, but could you repeat what you said?
I said, good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful rainy day in Kenosha. The weather people said it was going to rain, but and they're wrong. But in a way, you can say they're always right. It's just they get the timing wrong. Is that the part you wanted to hear, Olivia?
Sure, I guess, yeah. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing anything like super important.
No, you got to learn by now, certainly, that nothing I say is that important. Right? Hey, speaking of which, we have several people in this class who have earned books. I believe I'm going to go to campus. I'm thinking I'm going to go to campus tomorrow and drop off those books. They'll be in the mail room in Lentz Hall. That's the basement of Lentz Hall. You'll find a Perry Kowalowitz box, and that's where the books will be. So let me see if I remember correctly. Sarah is owed a book. Sydney, are you owed a book? Did you do a graph?
No,
Let's
not me.
see. Okay, so Olivia, did you do a graph? Tori, did you do a graph?
Yes, I did.
I did.
Okay, so that was Tori and Olivia. And Sarah, did you do a graph? I just want to confirm.
I did, yeah.
Okay, and then Ida. Is it Ida?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, very good. So I will have the books dropped off tomorrow, I think. It'll be a big, big day for me. Going to campus, after all, is like something I've done twice in the last 13 months. So, okay. So Milo, has the question gelled in real people words?
There are so many things, including Zoom, that have multiple tabs open and they're not opening the right tabs when I want them to. Anyway.
Yeah, well, I understand your frustration. I get frustrated with computers constantly
Fair
because
enough.
I know it could be better.
Fair enough.
Mm.
I think that the way to explain what I'm trying to figure out how to try to do. Can we go over like putting all of the things that we have and putting them into the main thingy? Give me a second. When we take things and make them look pretty like we're supposed to for
Mhm.
Python stuff.
Right,
Put
right.
them
You mean-
in, yeah, we
Mhm.
put them in the main so that we can do if name, dunder name equals dunder main,
Right,
and we can have that be all pretty and nice. Putting the
correct.
things, do we put them under the def main, or do we put them in the if dunder name equals dunder main?
Okay, those are
Do we
good
put
questions. Those are good
where do we put
questions.
them?
Let's show, let me show a screen here. And make it a little bigger for you. There. Okay, so the standard structure of a Python program is any imports that you need will go up here. All right, let me save this. Give it another name. How about test 3? Okay, and so the reason, let me print this line is, a term for it is naked, because it's just out there in the open. So let's just leave that there. Put a period on it. Okay, it needs another single quote, and there's a period. All right. And then you have, let's make a function. Now, when I use main, that's simply, the word main is not special. Okay, but traditionally, the main entry point in a program is called main. It could be anything. So this name is not special. By convention, I call it main. Okay, so this line is part of main. And let's do if dunder name equals dunder main dunder. So this line is part of the initial if statement. And then I'm going to call main. Okay, so this is representative of 3 different places you could put code, right? So there's at the naked level up at top, with nothing surrounding it, and Python will, as it encounters lines like this, execute them. Okay. This is also at the topmost level. So as Python encounters this, it will execute it. But something that's inside of a function is handled differently. When Python encounters this and recognizes it's inside a function, it's going to record the lines of code, but it's not going to execute them right now. Okay, so let's take a look at what this will do. Okay, so let's notice the order. So line 3 is encountered first, and it's up at that top scope. So it executes that line immediately. And then the next line to be printed is not line 6. When line 6 is encountered by Python, it's part of a function, and it records it, but doesn't execute it immediately. The next line to be printed is line 9. And then main is called. Remember, main, the word main is not special, it's just conventional. Okay, so this helps so far, Milo? Okay, so the big difference between coding entirely at the top level and coding this way is if you include test 3 into another program. So let me make another one. I'm going to say import test 3. And let's see what happens. This is test 4 top level. Let's see what happens there. Test4.py. And let's run test 4. So check this out. Let's bring back this and this. So here's test 4. So the first thing that was printed is not even here. Why? Because the first thing that happened is test 3 got imported. And when test 3 was imported, Python encountered this line at the top scope, so it executed it. But notice that nothing else from here was printed. That's because this if statement failed. Let's tell you what, let's just make one more little enhancement here. And this line is in test 4 with its dunder. Okay, let's run that. So you'll notice that line here in test 3 is not the main program. Test 3 is not the main program. You're experiencing loading test 3 as a result of an import, not because I ran it from the console. So line 8 if statement here does not execute. The main here does not execute. And the next line to be printed is here. This is the line. So how would I get in test 3? So if I said, I think it would work like this, test 3 dot main. See, I can reach in to the other file and make use of something that's there. Okay, so once again, the first thing that happens is test3.py is imported in test4.py. So line 3 here is encountered and executed because it's at the top scope. Then the import is finished. Line 3 here, this is at the top scope of test 4. That's printed. Then this is at the top scope, so it's executed, and it turns out that test 4 is the program that I'm executing at the top level from the command prompt here, and it is going to execute. This line is in test 4 with its dunder, and then finally the code from main in test 3 is executed. So you got a lot of flexibility here. Milo, does this answer your questions? Or perhaps was your question, why would you put what where?
It was more of why would you put the things in different places? What would be the benefit to that?
Okay. Well, you have to, if you could mute. Oh, thank you. So you have to make choices. So, for example, when I'm writing test 3, I'm thinking to myself, is it ever going to be the case that I'm going to import test 3 in another program? If so, then I want to be really careful about what I put at the top level. because whatever's at the top level will be executed. So I can count, if this is going to be called from another program, I can count on this not executing, and I can count on this not executing until I call it. So, it's going to be a similar process to deciding where you put just about everything. Should you put your phone in your left front pocket, your right rear pocket, someplace else. And it's based upon a thought process that you as the programmer go through. The worst that can happen is that you place something in an inappropriate location and it either executes or doesn't execute the way that you wanted it to.
Okay. So you just
So,
play around until you figure out what
Yeah.
works best.
well, you think about it first. So measure twice, cut once. Now, if you're just writing the technical term is a little ditty, a throwaway program, then you can ignore all this and just put everything in the top level. However, sometimes there's a strong track record of little ditties turning into production code. Something that you never intended for anyone else to see suddenly becomes the substrate on which your whole company runs. In that case, you're going to have to make some changes and tidy it up along these lines. Okay. Any other questions for review?
Yeah, I have one kind of regarding this. The if named under that line, it says main in there. Is that because that's what we defined it as, or will that be main regardless of what we call the function?
Yeah, it's always dunder main.
Okay.
Right. So
And
this
is the
could be foo. And the only thing that to call it, I have to call it correctly. Okay, so this would be equivalent.
okay. What is the name portion of that line referring to?
It's the name of it's string, and it's the name, well, it's either underscore dunder main if it's the program you're executing or not.
Okay. Thank you.
Hey, I'm curious. We never examined what the else would be here. So down here where we're not going to be executing it directly, actually, we'll do some more experimentation. Okay, we never did that. Now, if I run test 3, we're not going to see that. We're not going to see this is name in test 3 because line 8 will be true. So let's run that. Okay. But let's see, test 3.foo. Foo, is that? Okay, well, let's try test 4 and see if that red line really is a problem. Nope. Okay. Oh, so we did see now output of when you're not the main program, what is the value of dunder name? And it's the name of the Python file that you happen to be in. So if you're the file being executed, dunder name is dunder main. If you're not the file that's being directly executed, then it'll be just your file name minus the PY. Is that good? Okay, other questions?
This isn't about Python. This is just about, hey, did you get my chat message?
Yes.
All right, so you know that I'm on a different laptop, so my camera quality is kind of inferior, and I can't get my name to change.
Okay,
Just wanted to let you know.
thank you. I think it's better to be LOU than IOU. So,
Or actually, you know what? One more thing.
yeah.
Since we didn't have the midterms in class, how would the final work if it was in class?
Well, it worked the same way. You'd have 100 minutes to work on it. Actually, we were much more, we were really more chill about the midterm, weren't we? I mean, so I opened it early in the morning and you could turn it in anytime until the end of the second class, which is 4 o'clock. I see no reason why not to do it the same way.
So
So-
would you just be supervising us while we do it, for lack of a better word?
Well, during our class time, I'll be here and able to answer your questions. But to be honest, I would expect no one will show up. So that's what pretty much what happened last time. So here's the way we're going to do it. On Thursday, April 15th at around, I don't know, 8:30, 9 o'clock, when I've had my 4th cup of coffee. I'll open up the exam, and then the exam will close at 4 p.m. that day. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, there's no reason to be, like other teachers and exams. This is a really chill class, so let's be chill.
All right.
It's a relaxed class. I'm relaxed. Who else is relaxed?
I mean, I'm not really, because this laptop is somehow more inferior than my already flawed MacBook.
So any idea what happened to your computer?
Either because of a long story or just because it happened. Both of the charging ports on my laptop just stopped working.
Yeah, so it's the 10-cent part that breaks the $1,000 laptop. That's usually the
But,
case.
I mean, it's Apple, so it could be like 1,000.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so have you tried a different charger and different cables?
Yes, and they figured it out. They said it was the battery. So they're gonna order a new one for it, and hopefully it should be done by, I hope by Friday,
Yeah.
they said.
Is it by any chance, a 2015 15-inch MacBook?
No, I got it in 2019,
Oh, okay.
so it had to be
You-
around that time.
Yeah, because there was a recall on the 2015. So I have a 2015 MacBook Pro 15-inch, and last year, 2 years ago, they replaced the battery. It's like a brand new machine, which really sucks for me because I was looking forward to getting a new one.
I mean,
So,
chances are the one I'm using right now is a 2015.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okey-doke. Well, I think I can recognize that you're someone other than LOU. So we're good to go. Anybody else with questions?
Just a
Okay,
real quick
Yeah,
one.
go ahead. Sorry,
Um,
Sarah.
You're fine. For the project, which way did you recommend was probably the easiest way to go? Like with
For
with the pictures, like with reading them.
like finding the files?
Yeah, I don't remember what you
Ah.
said the easiest way was.
Well, fortunately, I happen to have that right here. Okay, is this still readable for you?
Yeah.
Okay, because I can make it bigger. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll make it just a little bigger. There, okay. So how to organize the files for loading. This is where we left off last time. You could have a hard-coded list of names. So let's see, for example, Are they JPEG files or PNG files? I don't remember.
I think they're JPEG.
Oh, okay. So here's an example of hard coding. Okay, so you could do this. This is straightforward. In the general case, I'd like to see you use a different method, but for the purpose of the project, somebody said this class was really relaxed, so sure, what the hell. This one is the only one I would have a hard time with, so don't do this. This would be some kind of a loop where you prompt for files and the user enters the names one by one. Don't do that. Just whatever you do, don't do that. I don't want to grade. I don't want to deal with it. Okay. Here, use the command line. This is a little better. You can then it would be something like Python project.py and then 1.jpg, 2.jpg, 3.jpg, etc. And then this fourth way of finding the files would be create one file that has the names of the other files. And so suppose you have a file called pictures, and pictures contained 1.jpg, 2.jpg, etc. Okay, so of these so far, frankly, the one I would, if these are your only choices, then I would do number one first, and then 3 or 4. Actually, 1, 3, or 4. Just don't do 2. Well, what we're going to learn about today is another technique, and this is second to last thing that we're going to learn in this course. Write code that lets the program go find the images on its own. Okay, now in answer to Sarah's question, I think it was Sarah, just don't use method 2. Is that fair?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. So any other questions before we move on to some new material? Anybody? Okay. Well, I have test 4 here, and let me just eliminate everything. Import, and do this along with me. So hopefully this program is being created in the directory, the same directory where all of your pictures are, okay? So import OS. And this is just temporary, so I'll say starting directory, and it'll be a weird name, it'll be period. That means the period as a directory name in Python means that it's the current directory. It's the directory wherever you are when you're executing this program. Starting directory of dot means starting here. And so watch this. So for the root path and the directories, comma, files in os.walk. And we're going to start walking at the starting directory. Okay, so now let's just print out what these variables hold. So print root path, and we'll print out the value. Print directories, and we'll print out the value. and print the files. And we'll print out the value. And then let's get a new line in there. All right, good. So, and now let's do just a trivial thing to make it look a little prettier. Get these single quotes to line up. That's a really cheap way of formatting, isn't it? Just putting in spaces. Okay. All right, let's try this. Okay, Python, on the Mac it's Python 3. Test 4. Wow, looks like a lot of output came out. Let's take a look at what that is. Oh, this is going to be, you know what? Let me move to a nicer looking directory because there's a lot of garbage in here. So move test for, this is going to be a big problem. Look at that. I put it all in the, okay. I just want to clean things up for a moment. So I'm just gonna, whoops, moving everything. So move /temp /star.jpg dot means here, and move temp star.python, move all the Python files here. Okay, good. So now I'm going to run that again. And okay, this is a lot cleaner looking. So root path, the root directory here is right now, it's the same as the starting directory. So it's a dot. And the next line is a Python list, and it's empty. If this folder had any subfolders, their names would show up here. Then let's look at files. That's a Python list, and it has all of the files that are located here. So let's confirm that. I'll say ls. And for every item printed here, you'll see that it shows up there. Now, this function called walks an entire tree of files. So, so if this directory that we're in now had a subdirectory, a subfolder, and it has one file in it. Okay, so let's take a look at what's inside subdir. Just one file called test file. Let's take a look at subdir in the context of the current directory. So this is the current directory, that's dot, and you notice that subdir is contained within the current directory. So let's try our program again. So when we're in the current directory, subdir is listed as a directory that's inside the current directory. And notice subdir does not show up in the list of files because it's not a file, it's a directory. Then walk will continue descending into the tree of your files and directories. So it's descended from the current directory to the current directory /subdir. So now we're inside subdir. What directories does it contain? None. What files does it contain? Just test file. And QuickTime is being a problem. iPad. Hello. All right, let me just try and get QuickTime up and going again. Okay, and iPad. And I'm getting no picture. Finally, I got a picture. All right, so let me switch what I'm presenting to the iPad, and I just want to draw some pictures. Okay. Okay. So wherever you are within a file structure, and this is the same on Windows, on Mac, and on Linux, they're organized as a tree. So somewhere there is a root folder, which means it's the topmost folder. For example, on Windows, on Linux and the Mac, it's called /, and on Windows, it's called, for example, C:. Windows is a little different in that every disk you have has a root folder, whereas the Mac and Linux, there's only one root folder. So let's imagine this is the top level, and then there's some hierarchy. And this might be way down here, might be my user's home directory. And then I created a directory called test. And then that has a lot of things in it. 1.jpg, 2.jpg. It has subdir, and it has test4.py. Now, subdir is a directory, and it has test file. Okay, so I ran test4.py while located in this directory. So I ran test4.py while I was in a command prompt sitting in that directory, and it listed all of these as files, and this one too as part of files. And then it listed subdir as directories. Okay, and then after telling me all about this layer, it descended into this layer and repeated and did the same thing. Let's take a look at the output of the program again. So here, you know what? Let me share the whole desktop and bring this up here. Okay, so now I think you can see the iPad and Visual Studio Code. Good, good. All right, so you can see my mouse. Okay, so I said I'm running test4.py while sitting in test. And if you take a look, there's test. So I'm sitting in test. And there is a Python program called test4. So I'm going to run this program. It's going to tell me that I'm in my current, I'm starting from the current directory, that's dot, and that there are all these files, and that there is a subdirectory called subdir. So let's run that. So I'm sitting in, this is a synonym for the folder name test. This folder has one subdirectory called subdir, and it has a lot of files in it. Those are the files. Then walk will then descend into the hierarchy. So now we're here. The root path is /subdir. That's the current directory /subdir. And what files are in subdir? Test file. And you can see that there. Does anybody have any questions?
So if there was another directory, like in the subdirectory, it would just keep going until you were finished with all the directories?
Absolutely right. That's correct. The technical term for that is recursion. So it will recursively descend into the whole tree. It'll walk the whole tree.
What if there's more than one? Like there's subdir and subdir 2. Would they both show up as another one?
Yes, it'll take turn. It'll do them in turn. Let's go ahead and do that. Make here in this folder subdir 2, and let's run the program. As you see, subdir 2 is empty, contains no directories and no files. That was a good pair of questions. Let's go back to the idea, though. What are we trying to accomplish? We are trying to see what happens. Refreshing my own memory. What we're trying to do is have our program find and make a list of JPEG files. Okay, so pretty sure. Good, I've got it here. So this is what happens when you shift things around. All right, so let me open. Test. There it is. Later. Okay. So I'll just run that program again and make sure that we're all, everything's just fine. Hunky-dory. All right. So let's go to test 2, which my version test 2, which is the program that is going to show all the I wanted to make this find all the files. So let's write def find files, find JPEG files. And like in the other versions, the list starts out as empty. Let me just check. We've already imported OS. So what we'll do is for the root, the directories and the files in os.walk. And once again, we'll start from the current directory. Maybe we'll change the program a little bit later. So that means this is a string, R is a string, D is a list of directories within this directory, F is a list of files. Now, I only want to look for JPEG files. So I'm going to ignore everything else and have another loop. So for file name in F, and I only want JPEG. So how about if the file name dot ends with dot JPEG. Oh, come on, fingers. So only if the file name, hello, Lily. Lily's an ancient dog. She had 16 teeth removed last week. And her breath smells a lot nicer now. Okay, so if finally, if it ends with, then let's add that lst.append, the file name. And like in the other functions, we'll return lst. Okay. So notice this is doing nothing with the directories. So this won't descend into, actually it will descend. Let's leave that there for now. All right, so let's see what happens here. And let's use this. What did I call this? Find JPEG files. Whoops. Low, no, it's here. There. So, and I just want to find out what is, well, let's see what happens. Test 2. And it didn't crash, so I'll bet you I have a window somewhere. And I have a window, oh, there it is. Okay. So it's only ping-ponging, this is ping-ponging the first 2 images that it found. Okay, how are you doing? Let's go back to you folks. Is everybody with me?
Can you scroll down to the main function?
Sure.
Thank you.
So if you wanted to use this method for your project, do keep in mind that 8, 9, this one would not be chosen because it does not end in JPG. 11, low blink comparator. Those would all be showing up in your list of files. So it's not, the story doesn't end right here.
Is when you said images equals load images from list, is load
Mhm.
image from list another function we defined?
Yes, we did.
Can I see that?
Sure. You know what? Let me reveal in Finder. And let me, what I'd like to do is send you the whole, hey, puppies don't eat bags of potato chips and get away with it. All right. I want to find a way to get this to you easily. And I guess a way that I could do that would be to go to Mediafire, log in, and we'll go to here, and that's the wrong button. Upload. And let's see. Okay. You didn't like it that time. I wonder why. There, fine, thank you. Okay. And now let me give you the link. Go to chat. That is to everyone now. And here, try that link, and then you'll have what I have. Okay, is that working out for you?
Yes, thanks.
Okay. So I want to modify this a little bit, just for testing purposes. Let's find out what I'm returning by printing out LST. I just want to emphasize that if you use this method, then the story is not over. Let's run that. And so I've got 8, 9, 11, 10, P2, P1, 4, 5. Hey, if I try to make a flip book of this, well, it'll make a flip book of this, but you're going to have extra pictures in it. So you've got two choices. One is find a way to order and single out only the pictures you want using code, or simply move the pictures you don't want out of that directory. But that still leaves you with the issue of these files being out of order. It start 8, 9, 11, 10. So does anybody have an idea of how we can, let me find my, there it is. Does anybody have any ideas how we can clean up this file list, put it in proper order? How about first we figure out how to get rid of anything that doesn't start with a number? Can anybody suggest a way to do that? Okay, we can modify this line here and have it approve, append only files that end in JPG and begin with a number. What do you think? Anybody? Okay, so how can you test the first letter in a file name? Index 0, okay? And then is digit. Let's try that. So let's take a look at this list. This is what we produced before, and we've got roll and we've got P. Let's try running the program now. Ah, good. Now we only have digits. So those are the pictures that I wanted. Let me get rid of Python. Now my only chore is to put them in the right order. If only we knew a way to do that. Anybody?
Would that be enumerate?
Enumerate would give us enumerate the list, LST, I suppose, giving us two answers. One is the value at entry 0 and then 0, right? That's what enumerate does. Enumerate goes through a data structure that you can enumerate, like a list or set, no, like a list or a tuple, and it will tell you at position 7, the position is 7 and the value is 7.jpg. So that's useful for something else. It's like we want to sort this list, right? So we discovered how to sort a long, long time ago. Sorted list. LST. Now let's take a look at what we've got. Okay, didn't seem to change anything. Why not? Didn't seem to change anything.
Do you have to assign the sorted version to a new name?
Yes, that's right. Perfect answer. Let's try it now. Well, this is better. Does anybody see a problem? Well, what's the good news? The good news is it's mostly in order. In fact, it is in order. The bad news is it is in order. Can you see a problem?
10 and 11 come before 2
Why?
because it starts with a 1.
Right, so this is sorting based upon letters. You know, this is like alphabetical order. It's not numeric order because file names are strings. So this will come up a lot in your career, and there's different ways you could handle this. But I'm going to suggest to you the easiest way of handling it, which is simply to be careful about naming your files. Let me exit. Okay. And so what I would suggest that you do when you're creating files like this, and you want them to be in a specific order, then don't make it 0.jpg. Make it, let's say, we have less than 100 pictures, 00.jpg. And move 1.jpg to 01.jpg. And 2. And 3. This is actually the easiest way of dealing with it, assuming, of course, you only have a few. If you have 100 of these or 1,000 of these, you don't want to rename them by hand. Clearly not. So what you would do is write the code that would split the number, period, JPG. And then, you know what? Maybe we should try that. We'll take a look at it. Let me just continue with this. So that leading 0 will ensure that 11 doesn't come after 1. So this will come up for you time and time again. This is the last one I need to do. So let's take a look at what we have. Now when I run the program, look at that, in beautiful order. Now, for you to change the names of the files, you would be doing it differently. So probably you'd use the Finder or the Windows Explorer. If you're comfortable with the command line, you could use the command line. On Windows, it would have looked something like this. On Windows, so this is on Windows, it would have looked something like this. Rename 0.jpg to 00.jpg. Okay. Or you could use your GUI, the File Explorer or Finder on the Mac. Okay, so when I grade, I will have these pictures available with the double digits. Okay? So I'll put your program into my directory with these files. So let me say that again. No, but that might, if you hard code, then don't worry about it. I'll figure out how to get the files in. How's that? Okay. Does anybody have any questions? We'll take that out now. Now, if you look closely at my screen, I've got an orange squiggle under the R and an orange squiggle under the D, and it says it's unused. And that's true. If you look at the code here, there's no use of a variable R and there's no use of a variable D. But in order to make walk work correctly, I have to receive values for R and D. But Python recognizes that sometimes you have to get a value that you don't want. So instead of having this warning, you can replace it with an underscore. Notice the squiggles went away. So an underscore is like a variable name that you can't access. So Python's happy now. Walk is returning 3 values. And the way I've coded it is I'm going to, on purpose, ignore the first 2. Okay, how we doing? Anybody have a question? Catherine, question? Gabriel, Gabe?
I think I'm all good.
Good.
Yeah, I think I'm starting to understand more.
Good. And Maja? Maja?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So listen, another announcement, very important. Tell everyone you know in the class. This weekend, I'm going to grade readings for the last time. Okay, so Friday night of this week, that's your deadline for doing any back reading. All right. So this coming weekend is the very last time I'm going to regrade all of the readings in the class. So if you want to boost, yeah, go ahead.
Was 15 the last one we did, or were
Correct.
any others assigned?
No, 15 is the last one we did.
Okay, thanks.
So what we've done with this lesson, so you just have a little bit of tweaking to do to change this program into Project 5. The tweaking will be necessary around here. You'll need to do tweaking around there. This technique of how do you know, as you go forward, you're going to be working with data. The data is going to come in files. So what we've just discussed is how to find your files. We can get them from the command line. You can get them from a list of files written into another file. And if you remember, we did that. Oh, I didn't copy that. That was horses.txt. Okay, or we can have our program go and find the files themselves itself. So at this point, you're well equipped to use Python to do something useful in your major. I think, excuse me, I think my goal for the course has been met. Okay, I think you're well equipped to go off into the into your future careers and be able to do something useful with Python. Okay, anybody have any questions?
Was this better than your previous semester?
Yeah, you mean, did I actually accomplish my goal? Yes, I think I did. So yes, this is, you know, how many times have I done this class now? I think this is the third or fourth time I've presented this class. It's relatively new. It's only a couple of years old. So it's third or fourth time. And I think, frankly, I don't know how you feel. And, you know, so your mileage may vary, but I think this term it actually went well.
All right.
Yeah.
And just to make sure, you said the final was on the 15th, right?
For you, on the 16th. Everybody else on the 15th.
Why? Because with my MacBook, it's going to take longer to do.
No, the exam is on the 15th. I was going to make a joke where, you know, when you wake up, you have this nightmare, you wake up and you discover that your final was the day before. Which has happened to me, by the way. I have lived that dream. So now there are computers on campus, Colin, that you could use. You could use the one that you're on now, right?
Right.
Okay. Is there anybody who thinks that they might have some difficulty with their machinery for the 15th?
I mean, are we just doing like we did for the midterm on Schoology?
Correct. Yeah, Schoology.
All right.
So the 13th, April 13th, we will have a review. And what we'll probably do for the review is retake the midterm, and I'll substitute a few new questions. Okay?
If nobody else has any questions, I have some questions that have nothing to do with the class.
Okie dokie, I'm game.
Yeah. So I'm playing this game with a couple of my friends on the computer, downloaded from Steam. We finished the game, but it has a post-game mini game. The thing is, it's stupid. And we want to break into the game and change some things so that we can. It's basically, it's got a dungeon crawler aspect, but you have to level up your characters outside of the dungeon. But once you have your character that you can use, you can't reuse that character to train them up more. And we think that's dumb. Do you think there might be anyone, if I went into the Discord server and I proposed this to the people who do like the cookouts, if there might be any other people who would be interested in helping me break a game for stupid reasons?
That's always possible. It's not clear, however, that it would be possible to, I mean, it's possible to find people, but it's not clear that it's possible to change the game.
Ah, okay. I just figured this wasn't something I knew how to do with my knowledge of Python. It probably doesn't run on Python.
Yeah, probably not. However, you could use Python to read the data file, the game configuration file, and modify it. That would require a skill known as reverse engineering. So you take somebody's data file with no documentation whatsoever and figure out what each bit in the file means so that you can modify it.
Fair enough.
That's it, and that's fun. That's a lot of fun. I used to do that. Made a lot of money doing that, but it was all for legal reasons.
Right. You think I could have the link to the Discord then, please?
Sure. Let me. I have two dogs wrestling in the space between my feet. I'm wondering, what is that? Oh, okay. All right, so let's go find Discord. Of course, Discord's going to want to update. No, it didn't update. Wow. So go here and invite people. Set this link to never expire and copy. Go to the chat and paste. Okay, that should get you to the department's Discord server.
All right, thanks much.
You're welcome. Discord is a well-done application. It really is. It's really well done. And I think they are about to be purchased by Microsoft. There's a rumor. And if that's true, Discord will go downhill. Microsoft has had a bad history with any application that has to do with communications. Skype was up in 20 something years ago. Skype was up and coming. Microsoft bought Skype, and it seems as though it hasn't been updated any meaningful way in the past 20 years, and now it sucks compared to the other communications programs. So Microsoft and communications programs don't get along. Okay, so any other questions about the material? Okay, if there are no questions, then that's what I have for today. And I'll see you on Thursday. Once again, let me say it again. The last opportunity to update your scores in reading is this week. So Friday night is the last opportunity to boost your grade on the readings. Now, a lot of the people in this class are hundreds all the way through. I'm very proud and see that last week I conflated words and it was embarrassing, but I'm not going to tell you where it was. So I just conflated words right now. I was thinking one and I said another or something like that. Anyway, I'm very proud and pleased of you in this class and in the other class. Most students have straight hundreds all the way down. Good job. Okay, then I'll see you on Thursday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good
Bye-bye.
day.
Have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.